Oh, Karen, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jen. It's my pleasure, my honor. Thank you for including me.
Yeah. So, you and I have worked together for, I don't know, I think since like 2007. You know what I mean? We
Yes.
both look back on our time together. So I mean, you've been a feng shui student. We worked together for a long time. What was it about feng shui that inspired you all those years ago to bring this system into your life and your home?
Well, it was real interesting. At that time, I had been through a pretty bad marriage and divorce situation for many years, and I was divorced in 2000 and had gone through a pretty dark time and was starting to be in recovery, and I moved to a brand new state. I had a brand new beautiful home. I was starting a brand new job. I felt like I had a new lease on life and just headed that way. I ran into you, had the opportunity to meet you and hear a little bit about this feng shui thing, and I didn't necessarily know a whole lot about, but it became a framework for me to start a whole new clean sheet of paper in my life and give me an architecture and a structure to make what I felt like were critical decisions.
Got it. So when you say the framework, are you talking about the Bagua and the five elements?
Exactly, the Bagua. And it so impressed me because one, it was some structure, but it incorporated color, it incorporated nature and all the elements of nature and the mental, physical, spiritual well-being. And all of those things came together in a very integrated way, framework that just it resonated with me, and it came at the right time in my life.
Got it. So I love that story. So what was it? So once you started, incorporating feng shui into your home back then, what kind of things, how did your life improve or how did it change? What did you notice?
Well, it's a bit of a funny story, actually, because I was at that point where I felt like I was open to new relationships, new adventures, new things, and particularly maybe to meeting someone else. And when I and so when I said I wanted to be open to a relationship, I said I wanted to bring somebody new into my life. I wanted to be open to other relationships. But when you came to my house, you saw one chair in my living room, one place setting at my table, one chair on my sun porch where I would be sitting. And so you sort of look at me and say, Karen, you really want to invite somebody in your life, but now you didn't say it quite this way. For Jen's audience, she was very diplomatic. But for me, what I heard, you say you want someone in your life, but you don't have any room in your house or in your life or by how you've set your environment. So that really struck me at that point in time. It was sort of really funny. And I'm not speechless often, but I was speechless at that point to sort of say, well, that's really true. I'm saying this, but my environment says something completely different.
Yeah. So did you make any changes? Did someone new come into your life or what did happen?
And so I did reset my house in a way that it was very pleasing. It honored what was one of my intentions at that point. There were several, but one of my intentions was to try to meet somebody special in my life. And so I added two chairs and I had two things here and two things and inviting, in terms of just the environment being reflective of that. And yes, I did meet someone pretty special very shortly after that time.
I love that. I love that. So and then you've continued to work with feng shui over the years. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you worked with the principal, you kind of got to know them, and then of course, we've just recently worked together. You've been part of my Harmony Blueprint program because you were moving into your forever home.
Yes, yes. So you and I had consulted back and forth on two or three different events before then, but when it
Two or
came
three
to
different houses, we should say,
different houses,
with your account, with your condo and your house, and
yeah, yeah.
mhm.
But when it came to my forever home, I mean, I really got serious about my intentions on this. I'd had a good run in the corporate life. Um, I was in a good place in my life in terms of just spiritual growth and wellness, and I really wanted to embrace my golden years and the years that I was going into. Plus, I had moved 19 times in my life, 19 different states, and I had been moving around. And so I thought, I got to get this right this time, because I really don't ever want to move again. And so as I moved into my forever home, I gave it a lot of serious preparation, pre-planning, thinking about all of the elements that, would really make me happy as I moved into my retirement years and hopefully maintain health for a long period of time. So first thing on my mind, I need to call Jen. We need to really work this out. And as I started to look for a place and actually made a decision and had the blueprint of the place that I would live, I definitely wanted to overlay it with the elements of the Bagua and thinking about the integration of my life and the intentions of going forward.
That's awesome. So and did it help you like make design decisions, or what was it, how was the Harmony Blueprint in using Feng Shui, the elements in the Bagua, how has that been really helpful to designing and aligning and even optimizing your forever home?
Well, it helped definitely in the optimization, and that's a big word for me. I am an optimizer, but it also helped me in the practice of elimination, because I was looking at a couple of other places as I was about to make the decision of the forever home, and it just wasn't the right flow, the right house. It just didn't have all of the elements that I thought that I was going to value as I went forward. So it helped me eliminate some options, and you even validated that in a couple of times, to get to the right place. And with short of actually building a house from ground up, I don't know that you can, get absolutely everything according to the framework that you would desire, but you certainly want it to be all the elements that you can make work for you. And so it helped me in that decision. And then as I purchased the home, I really started to prepare about 12 months ahead of moving in: paint colors, flow, furniture, things that I would put on the walls, where I would put them on the walls. And even you really helped me on one element. I bought more house than I thought I was going to buy, but in doing so, I was able to have a dedicated prayer room or quiet room or wellness room, reflection room that I'd never been able to have in any home that I'd had before. And that yet was one of my biggest priorities through life. And certainly as I continue on into life to my golden years. So you helped me make and see that was possible, and how to best set that up in this environment. So it, everything from colors to flow to specific decorating items, furniture items, all of those things came together in the plan.
Oh, I love that. And I remember when we were talking very specifically about the tranquility room, and it was like, what do we want to put in this room? And have you ever thought about creating a tranquility room? And that was kind of like a wonderful moment.
Yeah, it was. And normally I would have said, well, no, that's going to be my office. Mm-hmm. But no, that part of my life is now secondary, and there's other things that's going to be much more important. And that was displayed in the importance of how this home was laid out.
Mm-hmm. And then I remember two other very specific things: the helpful people and travel, the silver bowl, and then also your family wall. Could you share kind of what we talked about and like what you ended up doing to make those two areas really special?
Oh yes, Jen, I'm glad you brought those up, because those were two very, very big ahas and privileges in how we did this. So first, helpful people. From some of the previous times that we'd worked together, you had mentioned helpful people, and I thought, oh, that's a good concept. But as I got to here, I really thought and reflected back on my life. I'm in such a place of gratitude for the people who have touched my life along 50 years of travel in the career, and of course my family and different things. And I thought, oh, I am where I am today because of those people. And then the 2 years before my retirement, I was heavily into caregiving for family and in their end of life cycle. And it was very, very challenging. And if I had very special people around me all through those times that were there when I needed them, and I really didn't even know what to ask for. So I thought, boy, this helpful people concept, I really want to elevate and understand. And so through talking with you, I said, okay, what can I do? And I gave, I picked a very special silver bowl that I shopped for. It was very special. And I made these little cards, thank you cards that I designed that were very well done and tasteful, because I wanted this to be a place of honor in my home. And I went back over the 50 years and just started to make a list of all the people who had been very significant in the milestones in my life that had advanced me forward to the place that I'm at right now, which is definitely happy and a place of gratitude and being blessed. So I just wrote a card out for each of those folks as if I were going to send it to them. And I still may do some of that in the later time, but for this silver bowl. And I thank you for being a helpful person in my life. I put their name on it. Then on the back, I wrote out what they had done that was such significance and placed it in that silver bowl. And every day I look at that silver bowl and I look at the cards that are in that and say, and be grateful that, I'm not here alone. I'm here because of the touch of a hand of a lot of people who really made my life special and pushed it forward. So that was the helpful people portion.
Yeah.
And then in my family portion of the home, I really wanted to give honor to the legacy of my family, because I have such a good family. And again, I'm here because of seeds that were sown many years ago in previous generations, and certainly through my mother and father who've now passed. And so I went back through all my albums and all of my very special boxes of pictures, and I really picked out ones of milestone places throughout life, and very special pictures, legacy pictures, and had them beautifully framed at a gallery. I wanted them to be well done and well placed in my family room. And so I have pictures that it's the predominance of that room, not a lot of furniture and no other wall decorations other than these pictures that are designed and hung appropriately to make it tasteful. And people come in and just look at those pictures, and they may not even know the people in it, but it tells a story. And I delight in being able to enjoy that room with those pictures.
Oh, I love that. And that was like your family sector. And I believe they're all framed with the same frame and the same mat. And then it's just one picture. And what is it? Isn't it like 15 or 20 different pictures? I mean, it's definitely, it's a statement. It's not just like a few, it's a statement.
There are 27 pictures.
Okay.
And
So they're all framed separately.
Yes, they're framed 10 by 11 frames, inch frames, very special matting. The pictures are all placed in different places on the matting so that as a collage, they tell a story as well.
Beautiful. And so that really anchors your family section. And that's what's so fun about Feng Shui and working with the Bagua is you understand where to honor these different parts of your life. Yes. In your home. It's like, how do I organize my furniture or my artwork or my belongings? Well, you can use the roadmap of the Bagua because it just takes the guesswork out of everything, wouldn't you say?
It does. And it brings organization. The thing that can drain my energy faster than anything, and this has happened through multiple moves and things, is just clutter and, getting too much stuff built up and just crammed in a corner or whatever. And it's just stressful to just see it. So you don't see the beautiful things. And so as I moved to this place, I really looked and went through all of my, what I consider prized possessions, and decided, okay, does this speak to me? Does it tell a story? Does it, enhance the happiness of my life and the wellness of my life? And if it did, then I kept it. but
Yep.
I also gave it a place of honor in the house
Yep.
so that it wasn't just a piece of clutter. It was a statement and can be a conversation.
And an intention, and then you use the bog, and it wasn't just, I think I'll just place this here. It's like you
Yeah.
used the boggle and said, okay, this is a prosperity piece, this is family, this is creative. You know, you use that as a guide to help you place everything.
Yeah. I've lived 64, 65 now, wonderful years. And I've had lots of collections. I've had lots of experiences. And for me, the Bagua was an architecture and a framework to take all of these wonderful treasures I have from 65 years and organize them in a way that I can enjoy them every moment of every day that I have left.
Got it.
And I'm doing it.
I love that. I love that. So it sounds like Feng Shui has definitely helped you organize your belongings.
Yeah.
And from all that organization and working with the 5 elements, because we also dialed in what elements you personally needed to live in balance, which helped you like select wall color, all that kind of stuff. Overall, how has all this new energy helped, like, has it helped you make a transformation in your life?
Yes, it absolutely has. I've always thought of myself as a good transformation person and change management. I mean, even in my professional career, I focused on that as a profession. But when it comes to bringing it home, personally, for me, this has been just a wonderful transition. It has not been stressful. It's been busy. But it has been so enjoyable picking all the colors and making all the placements and embracing the change. I mean, I just eased right into my forever home without a lot of stress. Things went into its place. I didn't have a lot of cluttered boxes sitting around, and it just eased the transition. And I've been able to just breathe and soak in so many wonderful, good memories from my life. And so it made the transition much easier.
Much easier. That's great. And then how do you feel in your home now?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I live in every room. So I, again, have been blessed with a bigger home than what I had anticipated. So, I mean, it is a much bigger home than what I had planned for at time of retirement. But I am living in every single room. I'm only one person, but I live in every single part of my house every day. So I just flow from one room to the next and enjoy it all. And I think it's because of the way we set it up.
Oh, I love that.
Inviting. It's very inviting. And others that have come into my house have said, you have such a peaceful and fun home. And so it's welcoming, I think, to others.
That's like the ultimate compliment.
It is. It is. It is. But for me, my home is such a place of refuge. And I feel that. I feel safe. I feel happy. I feel revived. I feel like my spiritual growth is alive, and my wellness and my health, all of those things, and my family and the gratitude and it just all bubbles up, and it's all alive in my home, which is my place of refuge.
Oh, I love that. So would you recommend the Harmony Blueprint and working, doing Feng Shui and all that? Would you recommend that to other people?
I definitely would. I definitely would. And let it take hold of you. So, for me, the education process has continued since 2007. For me, every transition that I made and I looked at it, I discovered something more and something that helped me become more vitalized in a particular area. So I highly recommend it. And I say, let it be a living process with you, not just something that you've checked the box, done it, set it aside, and you're done. It ought to be a living process, I think, with you, and continuing that education of how vital it can be.
I agree with that. I see Feng Shui as really almost like a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Once you learn the principles, it's not just like you just set intentions and the elements and then let it go. It's like as your life changes, you want your space to change with you. Would you agree?
I totally agree. And I think balance is important.
Mm-hmm.
We can tend to get just all focused on one major big piece of something and forget the other elements. And the reality is that balance is very, very important. And it helps keep that balance in check.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Karen, it has been such a joy to work with you for so many years, and I've loved having you as part of the Harmony Blueprint. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. It's been my honor to work with you and to be a part of this story.
Yeah, well, and I just have loved being a part of not only all your other homes, but especially part of this Forever Home, because we really spent a lot of time dialing it in and making it just right. And now you get to just enjoy.
Yes, yes, and thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you too, my friend. Well, thank you so much. And I'm excited to share this interview and your story with other people so that they can truly feel and experience the benefits for themselves as well.
Good, very good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Karen. Thanks.